Hello guys and welcome to Python programming tutorials by Amuls Academy. In the previous tutorial we discussed about the property decorator and today also we are continuing the discussion on that. So in the previous tutorial we discussed about how we can use class method as attributes using property decorator. So today we'll see how to replace setter and getter and use property decorator. So alright, first I'll take a class because as I said, these property decorators are used on the class. So I'll take different example. So class name will be same, that is student. It will take one attribute called marks. So I'll initialize the marks, self.marks equal to marks. Next here I'll take another method. This method will calculate the percentage of that marks, okay? So it will return here I'm taking the total marks as 600. So I'll divide the given marks by 600 and then I'll multiply 100 to get the percentage. Okay. So here we are taking the 6 subject each of 100 marks. That's why total is 600. Fine. Next, this is my class which contains two methods. One is the initialization method and another one is the percentage method. And marks is the attribute. And this class calculates the percentage of given marks. Okay. So now I'll create an object. So I'll take object name as yes. Now I need to give the marks because in the initialization we can see we need to give marks, right? So here I'll take marks as 400. So now if I want to print the marks, then I can write like this. S.marks, okay, like we did in the previous tutorial. To call the percentage method, we need to mention S.percentage, and here we can see this method is returning some value, so we need to print that. And here what I'll do is I'll print this percentage symbol after printing the value, okay, that's why here I took percentage. Now if I save this and run this, here we can see 400, it will be 66.6666%. Okay. So now if I want to change the mark value, then I can take like this. Object name is yes. So s.marks is equal to 500. Now if I check, it will be 83.3333. Okay. So this will be the percentage. So now everything is good, right? Now imagine that this is the class written by us and many other clients or the persons are using this class in their program. Okay, this class student in their program to calculate the marks of the students. Now here we can see we are allowing our clients to access our attribute directly. So here marks is the attribute of class student, and we are allowing the clients to change the value of that. So some may ask, where is data encapsulation? You are not hiding any data. So for that solution is we need to hide the data. So we need to make this marks as the private variable. But in Python we know there is nothing called as private variable. We'll just use the name convention. That is, we'll use to_ beginning of the variable to show that that is the private variable, right? So here I'll do that same. I'll make the marks as the private variable, and to access this value as well as to set this value. Here we are accessing the value and we are setting the value. So for this what I'll do is I'll define two more methods, that is setter method and getter method, to set value as well as to get value. Okay. So in the previous tutorial, to set the attribute we use the setter. So here to get the value also we can use getter method. Okay, so I'll define two more methods here. The first method will be setter. You can give any name here. So setter method is nothing but the method which allows us to set the value of an attribute. Okay, so here I'll take self. So here I will set like this. Sorry, I want to set, right? So I need a new value. So here I'll take value and here I'll assign value. So whatever the new value will be assigned here in the setter method. And for the getter, I will return self dot marks. Okay, so here I'll make this as private. Fine, right? So here we made this marks as the private variable and we use setter and getter to access the value as well as set the value. Okay, so now as we define two more methods, we need to call that method, right? So to access that, we need to call that method. So in the client side, what we need to do for this, instead of this, I'll use this. Okay, to set the value, I need to call setter method. So I need to mention s.setter 500. So to print the value, to get the value, now I need to use getter method. So print s.getter. Okay, so now if I save this, it will give the output. Fine. So here no need to access the marks attribute. Now we can use setter and getter method. Also, setter and getter methods are the ways to achieve the data encapsulation. Okay, so what we did here is we updated our class. We did changes to our class, and now that will affect on the client side also. Here we can see we can't write like s.marks now. To set the value, we need to use s.setter now. To get the value, I need to use s.getter now. As I said in the previous tutorial, if our client is writing thousands of lines, and if he used this way of setting and getting value, because he used the previous class where we used to get data like this, now he need to replace this with s.setter and this with s.getter. So client won't be happy because his code may contain thousands of lines and he can't sit and do that changes whole day, right? So there is a solution for this also, that is called as property decorator. It will allow us to change the class without affecting the client side. Okay, so for that we can use the decorator now. So what I'll do is I'll remove this. Okay, we don't want this. We'll write like this only. We'll use property now. Okay, so here I'll apply this property decorator on this getter because there is no other method which is returning the marks. Here this percentage is entirely different. It is returning the percentage. Here we are changing the marks. We are setting the marks. The method which is returning the marks, we need to apply property decorator on that. So here getter is the one method which is returning the marks. Okay, that's why I need to apply. I'll put this here. I'll tell you why, because as I said, we'll apply property decorator on getter now. Okay, so here I'll like property. Now I need to change this getter name as marks, because here we can see we are printing the marks. Okay, here we are printing the marks, we are setting the marks. Okay, so whatever the name here you'll take, the attribute name, that should be the method name. Okay, and here this will be setter. So here this should also contain same name, that is marks. And here property decorator should be at the marks dot setter. Okay, so now if I save this and run this, it will give the output 583.3333. Okay, here we are changing PyQ 600, it will give 100%. This example is little bit different from the previous one, right? So I'll show you the previous example. Okay, so this was the previous example. In that, what we did is we applied this property decorator on message, because here we can see we are doing changes in the message attribute, right? That's why we took the method name as message. Okay, so here setter name also message. Here we need to change the getter method names to marks, because here we are applying it on the marks. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll include few statements also. This is the getter, right? So here I'll write print getting value and is equal to space. I want control should be in the same line, that's why. And here it will print setting value to value. Okay, so now I'll show you. Setting value 600, getting value 600, this value. Everything is done. Okay, so now think this class is used by many clients, and one of them come to me and ask me to set the marks limit, because if I enter the marks more than 600, then we don't want percentage for that, right? Students can get marks up to 600. He can't get more than that, because the final marks, the highest marks will be 600, right? If you ask me to set the limit for the marks, then we can do it easily now without affecting the client code. Here I can check the value. Okay, so if value is less than 0, value is greater than 600, then it will print can't set value, stick to previous value. If I save this and if I give the marks as 601, here you need to write else. Okay, you need to print this. Now if I take 601 here, can't set the value, stick to the previous value, so value will be 400 only. We won't set the value. Okay, so it will give the previous percentage only. Okay, so it is the setter and getter. We can delete the value also using deleter method. Okay, so you can define deleter, you can delete the value there. Here you can write the statement for that. Okay, you can do that also. Okay, so this is about the property decorator. Now we'll see how to use it as a method. Okay, so for that you'll get all the information. So why I said property is a method, built-in method, because here we can see it is belong to class property. Okay, that's why. And this will be the syntax. Okay, so these are the optional property fget, that is nothing but getter method. If any getter method is there, I need to mention here. Setter method here, deleter method here, and docs here. Okay, fget is a function to be used for getting an attribute value. Likewise, fset is a function for setting. Fdel is a function for deleting. Okay, so we can use like this. And here we can see decorators make defining new properties or modify existing ones easy. So we saw about this, right? How to use property decorator. Now we'll see how to use property method. I know you may got confused because of this naming things, right? So where to give name, where to use this property decorator, where to use this setter. Okay, so if you have that problem, then don't worry, you can use this property method easily. Okay, so I'll show you how to use that. So I'll remove this and I'll change the name also now. Okay, you can give any name here when you are using property method. Okay, built-in method. So here, so I'll use setter. Okay, so no need to do any changes here, but in the last line what you need to mention is, okay, here in the last line inside the class should mention marks equal to, because I'm doing changes on the marks here. Okay, I did changes on the marks, so here I need to write marks equal to. Next I need to write property name, that is method name. So next we need to mention first getter, next setter, if any deleter, documentation. Okay, so first getter, so getter name is here getter method name is getter. Next setter. Okay, there is no deleter method, we didn't define that, so I'll stop here only. Okay, no need to change anything here. Just at the last line of the class I need to mention marks because we are doing the changes on the marks. Is equal to property getter method name and setter method name. Okay, so now if I save this and run this, we'll get the same output. Here we can see this output was by using property decorator, this one is now. Okay, same output. So now if I use something like 300, we'll get setting value 300, getting value 300, 50%. So this is about the properties in Python, how we can use it as a decorator as well as how we can use it as a method. By using property, we can see that we modified our class and implemented the value constraint without any change required to the client code. So that's it for now guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will meet you in next class. Till then, take care.